Hi and welcome to the OTTverse podcast. Each week we'll bring you the latest in streaming technology, platforms and services. This week we have the pleasure of speaking to Shaurya Nigam, the CEO of Justbaat. Thank you so much for joining us on this show, Shaurya. So
Thank
from
you
what
for having me.
Thank you. So from what I understand, Justbaat is changing the landscape for content creators, distributors and users by providing technology that can help you create artificial videos in real time. So can you tell us a little more about yourself first to kick off this interview?
Absolutely. So, me specifically, we've been running this business for about a year. Before this, I've worked for about 12 years in the
Okay.
corporate world. I've been with companies like Airtel, I've been in companies like Genius Education, based out of Indonesia. Uh, so done a couple of roles in the past. Been a growth and product guy for most part of my life. And after 12 years of working with the corporate companies, it was like I, you know, got a calling someday that you have to do something which is beyond, which is bigger, which probably has a more better purpose to what you're doing today. And that's where I started exploring, looking around, and stumbled upon this use case. This was something that I went through myself personally in my
Okay.
last corporate role. I struggled to get, quality videos created. And I was like, how could we solve it? Because if we are facing it, a lot of people are facing it as well. And
Yes.
which was actually true. So after looking around, we saw that this is a very, very relevant problem that exists in the world. And thankfully, the technology was also catching up. So it just happened at the right time where the
Okay.
problem was discovered at the right time, and there was also an obvious solution which was available.
Okay.
So I literally, was able to marry the two. That's the only thing I did. Elsewhere, the ecosystem was any which ways, kind of wanting it. So,
Okay.
and we're not the only ones doing this, by the way. There are a couple of other companies as well. So a couple of other folks also kind of, estimated this, got into it. We are also into it. And today in India, we've been able to make some level of progress. Uh, in the AI space, we are working with a couple of news and broadcast companies
Okay.
and going slowly and steadily. So that's where we are.
Fantastic. Thank you so much and congratulations on the startup journey. It reminds me of the saying that you entrepreneurs work 80 hours to avoid working 40 hours, I guess. So, uh, okay. So, can you tell us a little more about JustBath? What is your product? How do you actually sell it in the market?
Absolutely. So Justbaat is a end-to-end video creation platform. It's fully automated. We are built over generative AI.
Okay.
So today, if you were to create a video in the physical world, you would
Mhm.
start from scripting to concept, then you would create assets, then there would be a couple of iterations around the storyboards. You will create a storyboard, do iterations, and then finally the assets for the video will be created where either the video will be shot or you would, take a video editor tool, drag, drop a couple of images, stock videos, and create something, do a voiceover, create something.
Yep.
And then finally publish it, and then over the period, monitor the performance. This entire process is completely manual
Okay.
and is done by humans. So there is a lot of human dependency. So the
Okay.
entire creative ops today
Okay.
is driven by humans. And
Yeah.
when, as a business, if you have to create videos at scale, this is where dependency on humans or
Mhm.
people become a challenge in itself, because if that specific person is out of the loop, then it's
Mhm.
very difficult to replace that skill set immediately. So, there are instances where you would see a lot of fluctuation when it comes to video production at scale. This is
Mhm.
where we saw that we probably templatize and substitute
Mhm.
some using AI to some extent of the process that people entail upon for creating a video, and that's where the Justbaat AI platform was born. So today
Okay.
we've got an end platform right from scripting to
Okay.
creating and publishing a video. It's
Okay.
completely done by the machine. So there is no human intervention at all. We
Okay.
have a manual override option. People can choose to intervene if they want to. But
Okay.
even without any human intervention, right from conceptualization to scripting to creating a video, editing a video,
Okay.
basically you get a final output. You can just give very, very minimal inputs to the machine, and the
Okay.
output that you get is phenomenally final out there. So that's what we do.
That's very interesting. So I'm going to actually now show everyone the demo that Shaurya gave me. I think this will give you a fantastic idea of what they do. So let's move to the demo. Yeah, let me play this.
New Delhi, the army on Friday released photographs of its soldiers playing cricket in the Galwan Valley area of eastern Ladakh to showcase high morale along the frontier. A day after External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar described bilateral relations as abnormal during talks with his Chinese counterpart Qin Gang on the sidelines of the G20 meeting. The photographs are from a location some distance away from the buffer zone set up around patrolling point 14.
Okay, sorry, Shaurya, I'm going to just pause at this point. Can you explain what we just saw?
Absolutely. So this entire video was created in the Justbaat AI platform.
Okay.
Every bit of this video has been done using the AI. The girl that you see is an AI avatar of an actual person. The voiceover is AI. This voiceover has not been narrated by the lady that we see here. The animations, the highlights that you see, army showcases high morale on LAC with cricket, those have been picked up from the script by AI and put it out there. So it was not part of the script, not highlighted specifically by the script. It was kind of taken in by AI itself. And all the transitions, animations that you saw, everything was done by AI. No human intervention was required. The input to this video was a newspaper article or a website article, interesting. So we do work with Times of India now, and this is the demo that we created for them.
Oh, fantastic. So this is interesting. So this is an English language video. Do you also support other languages?
Absolutely. We support 63 languages across the planet.
Oh, wow.
So right from 9 Indian languages like Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, Bengali, Odia, and then Spanish, Portuguese, Vietnamese, Indonesian, Japanese, Mandarin, couple of African languages. Basically, all the major languages is what we support.
This is very interesting. So I think I have a couple of questions here. The avatar that we saw, can I substitute it with my own avatar, or do you provide a library of different news readers, perhaps?
Absolutely. So we can substitute anyone. We can create an avatar anyone. There is a process to create that avatar. We do require a 5 to 10 minute clipping of the person that we want to clone. But that's it. Once we get that clipping, the machine takes some time to learn and clone that person. But once cloned, it is done and it's done forever. So it's like a lifetime clone that can be created within 5 to 10 minutes of the video recording of the person that we want to clone. So we can clone anyone. Do have a library of couple of anchors that we maintain today, but the library is kind of not owned by us because we are a B2B business. So we work with the clients, and the anchor that you see is one of the actual anchors who work for this media house. Right? So we literally cloned them.
Okay, that's very interesting actually. So do you work on any other use cases apart from reading news?
So today, as a business, we are hyper focused on the news and broadcasting industry. And for the news and broadcasting industry, we operate both on the digital side of the business and the broadcasting business, where we are able to get news videos created for YouTube, website, application, and even the television. Right. So that's what we do at this stage.
Could you help us understand the difference between the two, like broadcast versus the digital space?
So digital is all about need to consume, where you can come in and consume at your will, versus broadcast is something which is live 24 into 7 and it's on the television. The difference is more from the way it is consumed, where broadcast is supposed to be more aggressive in tonality versus digital is supposed to be more calm. So there are differences in the way the video sounds and looks. There are differences in the way we integrate and we go live with these platforms, because broadcasts typically are still legacy platforms versus digital platforms are fairly evolved. So there is a certain legwork that is required at our end, which is why we demarcate or differentiate these two businesses. But fundamentally they're the same.
That's a very interesting nuance, right? You see the 9 o'clock shows with people all angry, shouting at each other. I think that nuance, if you can bring it into AI, it's just fantastic. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what?
So now we started substituting the off-peak hours, and started taking a couple of uh, non uh, non-prime time use cases. So that's where we are. Technology
Okay.
is still developing. What you just mentioned, that probably we might be able to get into prime time as well as the
Okay.
technology progresses. Sorry, you
That,
were saying, I'm so sorry to cut you there.
no, that
Please,
was
please.
amazing actually. Yeah. If you can actually come into prime time and generate news, I think this opens the avenue for people who can't really afford a studio, who can't afford anchors, but can actually write. I mean, I know people, I myself love to write. So if I can write news and then use your platform to have an anchor talk and then syndicate that on different channels like YouTube, Instagram, I mean, I think that's a game changer for independent content creators. Do you see more of such use cases? Are you exploring that, or are you still doing enterprise today?
No, so we do see a lot of use cases to this technology. Right now, we are hyper focused on the enterprise play because the idea was to also validate the concept at scale. See, it takes time to train the models. It takes time to fine tune the AI to serve a specific use case. And we are still a startup. We are a smaller team, so there are only limited things that we can do given the bandwidth that we have. And you know news and broadcasting is an industry which creates content at scale. Content is what they are all about. So
Right.
the idea was that could we substitute their content requirements with AI? So that's where we started off with. But yes, today we have demos for prop tech, we have demos for auto, we have demos for e-commerce, and we can literally, disrupt every industry that we would want to. It's just that it's only a matter of time. We want to get one thing right and then probably move on to the other. So that's what we're
Absolutely.
doing.
Absolutely. So that's almost like a segue into my next question. So from what I can see, you have kind of cracked the code for text to audio, text to video, lip sync, backgrounds, everything. So what's next? What's next? What's the next challenge that you're actually picking up, or have you kind of pivoted into a platform and cost optimization phase of your product?
No, so right now we are not optimizing the platform at this stage. I think
Okay.
at this stage, we're still evangelizing a couple of more use cases that this technology can get to. Also, we are hyper focused to get the product right.
Okay.
At this stage, what we're doing is, see, the ideal product should look like where you could literally give minimal inputs to the machine and get output as in the video format. So, for
Okay.
example, you could just write that create a video to teach a 5-year-old Newton's third law of motion. Right. And then
Right.
the video would be in such a tonality with all the animations and plays where literally a 5-year-old could look at the video and understand what Newton's third law of motion is all about. So that's the ideal product that we visualize. We are a bit far away from there. So
Okay.
that's the journey that we embarked upon. So for the couple of weeks, months, probably years, we will still be in this phase. At least that's what I think of, because AI is literally just at the cusp. We've not even started growing today, right? I mean, we've just started entering the market. People have just explored AI
Okay.
as a use case or as a technology. The way I see it, right, from 1995 until 2020,
Mhm.
the world was looking at digitization. Whatever we did, food, travel, transactions, everything digitization came in,
Yeah.
Everything was just getting digitized. Today, I get my food because I have an app. Today,
Yeah.
I travel because I'm able to book my tickets online. So
Yeah.
whatever I do, heck, everything has just become digital, right?
Yeah.
2020 and beyond, the future, I see AI now topping over wherever digitization entered. So across every industry, every vertical, we would see artificial intelligence coming in.
Yeah.
We are are solving for content creation video. So we've picked a very, very minute use case right now, but artificial intelligence itself is a very, very strong technology. And there will be more and more avenues that will open for the world and at least for us as well, where we are trying to solve for one use case.
Amazing. Okay, so I think that almost answered my last question. So let me just come back a bit, changing gears a bit. With the rise of deep fakes, right? What are the ethical considerations that you see that Justbaat has to see? And actually,
So there are a lot of ethical concerns with deepfake and AI coming along, right? And this is something that we also kind of foresee,
okay,
and hence started working with or starting to work with enterprises was a very, very cautious decision. That we have
okay,
not opened platform to everyone out there. We are
okay,
not giving the platform to the creators today. Right?
okay,
But we do want to? Hell, yes, we do want to give it. But
right,
technically we are probably ready, but those ethical practices and couple of more deeper thinking to how the product should look like,
yep,
to give it out there to the world to use it the way they want to, probably we are a bit away from there. So we are also definitely thinking through how could we make sure that this product or this technology is not misused, which is why
okay,
we are trying to do it in a very controlled fashion. But and this is true for everybody who's operating in this space. There
yep,
will definitely be ethical concerns with AI. We've seen enough examples in the recent past where there was a video where the president of Ukraine was shown
yes,
surrendering. That
yeah,
came out to be a AI
yeah,
video, which was
yeah,
not right. So there would be concerns around this. There are concerns around this. So at least we can do this bit, that we could be cautious in the way we scale the product. That's where we are. But I
okay,
think we as humans need to be particular, as an industry need to be particular of how do we use AI, because this is a very, very powerful tool, but then it comes with its own nuisance value as well.
absolutely. I think you're probably placed in the right place in the right time to take these kind of calls, and probably also educate the rest of the Indian industry that where should the line be drawn, and how to run this as a very ethical platform. So great, Shaurya. I think that brings us to the end of this short interview. It was fantastic learning about your platform, your success stories. We wish you all the best and look forward to having you again on the show and reporting on all your successes. Yeah.
Absolutely, Krishna. Super. Thank you for having me around. It was fun chatting today. Looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks.